I became a cheerleader mother. Now you're wondering, what is a cheerleader mother? Now, I wasn't much of a coordinated young lady. As a matter of fact, I was very nerdy. As a matter of fact, I was the nerdiest of the nerds, the kind that I would be afraid to walk across the library in high school for fear I would trip on myself. So how surprised was I when I became pregnant and this child within me was jumping around and was doing the splits and was doing acrobats and was born to be a cheerleader. And I tried to keep her from being interested. No, 4th grade, you don't want to try out for cheerleading. At that point, they have youth football for young men, and the girls go out and cheer for the young men. I said, no, you don't want to do that. 5th grade, I'm going to try out for the Panther cheerleading. But fortunately, the gods came down and she broke her arm the week before cheerleading practice by playing Geronimo with her boy cousins, in which they jump out of a tree. So she breaks her arm, like, yes, thank you, God. Yes, not that you ever want harm to your child. So she has a huge, and she tried out anyway. Go, yes, yay, team. And I think she got the pity spot. So, okay, so now she's a Panther cheerleader. But being a Panther cheerleader, that's just the beginning. That's just the bottom of the rung. Because what you really want to be is a pom-pom girl. And the pom-pom girls, they're like cheerleaders, but they're better because they're not cheering for the boys anymore. No, they're the show themselves. And they do very elaborate routines and all kinds of fabulous bits. And you work your way up to the top of the pyramid when you go to the Pom-Pom Championship of the world. And not only is it the Pom-Pom Championship of the world, but it's at Disney World in February. Okay, so we go, our team of 20 pubescent young ladies, all who are wearing their best little outfits, which, by the way, cheerleader mothers, we had to have a meeting ahead of time to coordinate their outfits. Because as a cheerleader mother, not only do you have to want to be into their outfits, you have to be into their hair. They have to have little ringlets. And I slowly found myself being sucked into the dark side of being a cheerleader mother. Because soon, she and I were watching ESPN, and we're watching the cheerleading competitions and the pom competitions and going, they weren't very precise at all. Look at those fat thighs. Those girls were jiggling. Now, we did notice that the southern girls seemed to be the best, but we would prevail. We knew the northern girls would prevail. So, yes, we go to the Pom-Pom Championships of the world, and we land, it's February, and immediately the temperature in Disney World goes down to 28 degrees. It's 28 degrees, the things aren't working, water's not turning on in the hotel room, and they have these big barrels with fires in the landscaping so that the foliage doesn't freeze. It was like being in the last circle of Dante's hell. So here we are, it's cold, we had to get multiple Mickey sweatshirts, and I had 20 pubescent cheerleaders with me. So it's time for the big competition. Our girls go out there, they do their best, yay team, and then you've got their pom-poms, and it's great. But we just couldn't keep up with the Southerners. Now, in the South, they have what's called cheer studios. By the time a child is 3 years old, you're starting to go to a cheer studio. Whereas up here, we may have a dance studio. They go to cheer studios. So by the time they're in 8th grade at the Pom-Pom Championships of the world, they are kicking ass. And the one team in particular, they were a middle school. And not only a middle school, they were a Baptist middle school. Not just a Christian middle school, but a Baptist middle school. And so we called them the Dancing Baptists. The Dancing Baptists came out. They were fabulous. They had precision. They were like the Rockettes. And just as they were about to get to their grand finale, what do? They grab their skirts, whip it around, it was Velcroed on, and it's gold lame. Gold lame, and the Dancing Baptists go out in a flurry of gold lame and sequins and estrogen-tinted sweat. As you can imagine, they got a prize, and our girls got nothing. Got participation, but as they were saying, you can take that participation ribbon and you can do. As we were leaving the compound, the Dancing Baptists walked by us. And the one girl observed us slowly, looked at us and said, "Hey, y'all suck." And we did learn some things from our defeat, however. The North may have won the war, but in cheerleading, the South will always rise again.